I will show you exactly how you can turn a completely unaware and cold lead to a $10,000 coaching client through taking them through every single step of the customer journey. Okay. And that's exactly how I've generated over $400,000 for my clients in the past. Now, look, in this video, I will lay down exactly how to turn an unaware lead. Okay, how to take an unaware lead and turn into a most aware lead through something that we call ad sequences and content sequences by targeting the right customer at the right time and providing them with the right content that they need. Okay, so in this video, you will learn exactly how you can literally tap into a broader market. I'm always talking a lot about in-market messaging. Now in this video, I will show you how you can tap into a broader market and basically build an ecosystem, build a funnel, right? This is what a funnel actually is that turns completely unaware people to buying customers over a certain period of time. And ideally, this sales cycle should be as short as possible. I'm talking about 7 to 14 days. Now, look, basically, first of all, you need to understand what a customer awareness level even is. And there's this book called Breakthrough Advertising from Eugene Mr. Schwartz. Okay. And this is one of the best books that I can highly recommend you when it comes to understanding marketing. So basically, the thing is that when you have an unaware lead, okay, he can either be completely unaware, he can be aware of a problem, he can be aware of a solution, aware of a product, and be most aware. And then I basically want to target to design content. I want to design content for all of these different awareness levels. Now, first of all, what is an unaware lead? An unaware lead is someone who's just think about someone who's scrolling on Instagram, okay? Who's looking through reels, looking for some entertainment, maybe some information, some education. He hasn't got a clue on what's going on with your coaching business, on the opportunity that you're in, on what's happening. Maybe he's heard about making money online and so on, but he hasn't heard about what you're doing, how people actually can make money. He's completely unaware, okay? I don't know they have a problem. They're rather browsing for entertainment, and they need to be approached through what we call top of funnel content, through way more organic looking reels. Okay, they want organic reads that integrate with their positive, with the user experience. Okay, they want to have reels that look similar to all the other reels that are currently in their feed. So what you need to do to convert these leads is sell them first on that they have a problem or that there is an opportunity. People always say problem, pain, but they forget that a lot of people also do stuff out of opportunities. So if there is a big opportunity, these leads might also be attended, basically willing to participate in your coaching program or whatever, right? So for example, program could be their 9 to 5, their current situation, pain, or you just sell them on the opportunity. What I always love to do is to sell them on the opportunity, because this way I can avoid this weird 9 to 5 talk and pain talk and so on and so on and so on. And then we need to sell them on the solution, which is basically your business model, your niche, and your dream outcome. And then the product. So on your high ticket coaching product, we need to handle objections, introduce proof, authority, and sell them on the situation right now, why they should take action right now, on the urgency, basically. Yeah, we have the highest sales friction there, but this is exactly why we designed this entire marketing funnel, to convert this type of leads. And this is where we start. Now, when we made a lead aware of the problem or aware of the opportunity they might be in, so let's say, let's for the easiness of this video, let's say we're selling an Amazon wholesale coaching offer. What we indeed are doing for clients, we are scaling various of these clients to 6 figures a month. I've got some testimonials here on this channel as well. So basically, then now after we've made them aware of the pain or of the opportunity, what we want to do is to sell them on the solution. So they know, okay, there's an opportunity with Amazon. Okay, I have a problem with my 9 to 5. I want to earn a side income and so on. They now know they need an online income, need to leave their 9 to 5, make more money. They want to be a successful business owner. Maybe they even want to sell on Amazon. They already sold on the opportunity of Amazon. I need to sell them on the solution. They know solutions exist. Maybe they already sold on e-commerce as a solution. They know drop shipping is there, FBA, private label, other business models, SaaS, trading, SMMA, and so on. So we need to sell them on why Amazon wholesale, in our example, for example, because we're selling an Amazon wholesale coaching offer, is the right solution for them. So why is it better than all of the other solutions that are there out there? Why isn't it better? Why is it better than investing in stocks or in an ETF? Why is it better for people like them? Okay. And this is where we want to throw rocks at enemies, explain the business model. This is where we really want to explain the economics, show statistics, explain the vehicle, show student proof, show your personal story, founder story. This is perfect for solution aware people who we then basically want to sell on our very, very own solution. Okay. And then after we've done this, we basically pitch these leads. We get them maybe on a sales call already and so on, and they become product aware. Or we maybe even make a reel about our product or an Instagram story sequence, and they become product aware. Okay, so they know that we have a product. They know we have a coaching product where we help, in our case, Amazon sellers scale their business. Okay, through a BizUp coaching program. Now, the next case is to basically sell them on the product. So what we need to do is a lot of objection handling here. This is bottom of funnel content. This is kind of more middle of funnel and also a bit of bottom of funnel content. But over here, we want to have middle of funnel content. So why can they do it? And we need to sell them on themselves, on ourselves, on the opportunity. We've done this already, okay? And back it up with massive proof. So what sets us apart? What's our unique selling point? What sets us apart from other people in the niche? And what I love to use over here, and I will show you an ad example of an UGC ad very, very soon, is third-party reviews, okay? So we basically have something like UGC creators that we pay. We can even create an AI to do so that review our coaching program or a product, and basically go through our Trustpilot where we have real reviews from real people, or go through student testimonials, or go through our product and basically do a third-party review with a different face. You can even post this on your very own Instagram account of people who've reviewed your product, and maybe even make a long form video about this, a long form video where you pay someone to just do a normal neutral review, okay, where he just goes through your product, what happens, go through all the reviews that you have, okay? Or you can do podcasts, show you speaking on stages. What you want to do for product aware people is they already know the solution exists. They already know that you have a product to do so. They just aren't sold on your product yet. Okay, they're aware of your product. They aren't sold on your product. These people are aware of solutions, but they aren't sold on your solution. These people are aware of a problem, but they aren't sold on your existing product. Okay, and this is exactly why you there in this case want to introduce more proof and more authority. So then after you've made them aware and so on, and you've introduced more authority, they become most aware. And most aware people are the people who are so close to pulling the trigger and buying, okay? What they need is, they're already sold on you, they're already sold on the offer. What they need is just maybe one limiting belief, one objection, or one special occasion. So stuff like a webinar, a discount, a summer discount, a special bonus, additional value, another deliverable, scarcity, urgency, prices go up, and so on. And then they will pull the trigger, okay? So these people, obviously, this is the most limited part of your audience. And this is where we just, product aware and most aware people are people where you just will have a certain percentage of customers, so you won't have that many. But essentially, these are the people who are the easiest to sell to, because you just need to have one objection and you're basically done. So these are very, 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 very hot leads. And this is basically the entire customer journey. So when someone starts, he doesn't know us, he needs to be sold on first on what it is, what's the opportunity, what's the problem, what's our solution to it, what is our product, and then basically is there a special occasion, urgency, or why should I take action right now? Now, if you want to scale long-term, you need to develop a system that turns a completely unaware lead to a buying customer over time. Because, yeah, we always talk about these in-market customers and so on, but they will run out of time, okay? And long-term, you want to have really an ecosystem where you can turn completely unaware leads to you buyers. And you do this through advanced sequences, through content sequences, and through ad sequences that target the right awareness levels, okay? Now look, you always need to make sure you are aware of what awareness level your customers are on that you're targeting. So when I have a content sequence, let's say in my Instagram profile, I do a organic promo on Instagram or whatever, and I want to have different type of content on my profile to convert leads. So what do I want to have first of all? First of all, we want to have top of funnel content. This is for unaware leads or problem aware leads or opportunity aware leads. So basically, this could be content where I show myself, like when we talk about Amazon, this could be content that I record, for example, in my warehouse. This is just making people aware of the opportunity and of the dream outcome related, in this case, money, to this opportunity. So I could show my warehouse. I could say, yo, this is a 10,000 square foot warehouse that I'm standing on right now. These are the products that I'm selling. And look, let me give you a quick warehouse tour. So here's exactly what we do, blah, blah, blah. And then you basically make a video about warehouse tour where you just show around and show, okay, here's how much units we're moving. Here's how much I make. And this is such a massive opportunity. This is what we call Amazon wholesale. This is everything I talk about here in this profile. Feel free to follow me and so on. Okay. Or for example, in my case, I could make a video about where I'm currently on a webinar. So something like I pull up my phone and say, yo, we're currently live on a webinar. And as you can see, we've got 10,000 people in this room right now. And if you didn't know it, these are all potential customers. And very, very soon we will pitch. And then I show another part. And here are all the calls that are coming in and so on and so on. So if you didn't know it yet, webinars are a massive opportunity to acquire new customers. Follow this channel for more and so on, right? This is just where I make people aware, in this case of webinars, in this case of Amazon wholesale, and so on, okay? And top of funnel content can be kind of real form. It's something like B-roll content as well, where you show something like, okay, here's how to build a second income stream on Amazon that pays you while you're asleep, blah, 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 okay? Or you can even show yourself, for example, traveling around. You see me something like you see me traveling the world all the time, treating my family like kings and so on. But you know why that became possible? Because of Amazon wholesale. And then you show basically the entire opportunity and so on. This is top of funnel content. You just want to make them aware of the opportunity, aware of the dream outcome, and not more. Okay, and this can be very, very cool character content where you're being yourself. You can just really be pulling out your phone or nice captions, nice B-rolls, and so on. Then you want to transition to middle of funnel content. Now, middle of funnel content is for people who are more solution aware, who know that there are solutions out there, who are already aware of your solution, ideally, and who are aware of the entire opportunity and sold on your opportunity. You just then need to explain more. So you need to deliver more valuable content. Show expert content where you speak on stages, explaining the entire business model. Show how your warehouse actually, for example, how supplier orders arrive on your warehouse. Oh, I explain how the Amazon FBA system actually works. So I explain how to get started, your first 30 days selling on Amazon. Here's exactly how to get started, what you do, and I deliver more valuable information. Or I could even do a founder story over here. So here's how I went from XYZ to XYZ, from point A to point B, and here's exactly what I've done. And if I had to do it again, here's exactly what I would do in the first 2 to 3 months, and I show the journey basically. This is a lot of educational content where you want to explain mechanisms, you want to explain frameworks. For example, in my case, I could do a middle of funnel reel where I'm talking about, this is the exact webinar framework I use for my 6-figure webinars or whatever, right? Or bottom of funnel content is a content where you then want to dive more into the actual authority student proof. You want to deliver student testimonials. You want to show the real numbers behind it. You want to have this objection handling assets. You want to have, for example, real or like Q&A sections in your Instagram profile where you talk about the most common objections that people have. Okay, so what happens if this or that? What do I do in this case? Are you really legit? Show some client testimonials and so on. This is really just trust building content over here. And this is for product aware leads and most aware leads, and also for some solution aware leads who haven't booked in a call yet. Now, this is what we want to do in terms of content. Now, we can either do this in our Instagram profile, or we can copy this exact structure and do it through ad sequences. Now, ad sequences are a great way to basically supplement your organic reach and put it on complete steroids through ads. So what you want to do is you want to do something called an ad sequence, where you turn a completely unaware customer to a hopefully buyer, right? And this happened through, first of all, top of funnel content. So you basically want to put together 10 to 12 different short form, or you could even do it with a long form strategy. I generally tend to go with short form because people are so brain rot nowadays they can't watch a long form video anymore. So we do top of funnel content, which is something like 9 to 10 to 12 different reels that are all this top of funnel content that I just talked about, for example, this warehouse tour and so on, showing a dream outcome. And then I want to retarget people who've watched at least 10 seconds with this more educational and expert-based middle of funnel content where I explain the business model and the actual economics behind it, okay? And I deliver more information. And then if someone has watched at least 10 seconds of this middle of funnel content, I want to then retarget them with bottom of funnel content. So then I want to show them the client testimonials, ideally in-person events. I want to retarget them with screenshots of client testimonials of my community. I want to retarget them with screenshots of my Amazon payout. I want to retarget them with content of me speaking on stages. I want to retarget them with UGC ads and so which we're going to talk about in just a second. And then if people have watched at least 10 seconds of these bottom of funnel content, then we want to target them directly with the direct response campaign, where we CTA them to register for a workshop or to book in a free strategy call, go to a BSL funnel, watch a free training. And then we will either have buyers or we will have people who don't buy. And what happens there, when you think about the customer awareness levels, so we're basically here unaware people or problem aware people, opportunity aware people, and we have solution aware people over here. And then with the bottom of funnel content, we have still solution aware people, right? Because we haven't pitched them yet. Now, after this, or we could even include content where we talk about a product, but ideally don't. And then after the direct response campaign, for the non-buyers, these will be product aware and most aware. They just need this final edge to get off the fence. And this is where we then want to retarget them with stuff like UGC ads, for example. Now, I think I've forgot to enable my sound, but basically, you don't even need to hear it. What happens is Brooke Hitting has this, and this is basically, you can just read the cap. Basically what he has is he has an AI UGC creator. I think she's AI, I'm not quite sure, where he basically he hooks them in with something like guru scam and talks about Brooke Hitting, but then basically leads to a pattern interrupt where he says, oh, he isn't actually a scam. And then she reviews basically all of the, she did the due diligence, and she reviewed if he's actually legit. He went to his Trustpilot and looked at all the different reviews from over there, from the customers and so on. You can't fake the Trustpilot reviews. This is what Brooke Hitting is running as an ad, as you can see. This is from Brooke Hitting's account. There's UGC ads to basically convert completely people who are already product aware, but you need this final trust building. She shows and so on and so on and so on and so on. Oh, and then she's actually pitching the free live workshop to book in the leads again. Okay, and this is what you do through these kind of UGC ads, through ads that then target the non-buyers, people who didn't buy, but who you've pitched before. Okay, and this is exactly how you tailor your ads through something like sequences, through different customer awareness levels. This is crucial if you want to dominate any market, if you want to expand in your market, if you want to scale consistently. And basically just having this ecosystem where in your Instagram funnel, in your paid ad strategy, okay, where you convert a completely unaware lead and turn them to a buying customer over time through the right ads, through the right webinars, okay, and through the right messaging at the right steps of the funnel. Okay, and this is exactly what we're currently doing for clients. Now, if you want us to implement this entire system for you right now, okay, so do the entire organic content, do the entire ad copy, then obviously write the sales assets, meaning the BSLs, the webinars, set up the campaigns the right way, automate your onboarding, set up the entire backend automations, literally every single thing that's related, even the sales team management, every single thing that's related to scaling a coaching business and acquiring you more coaching clients, then feel free to reach out to me, book in a free strategy call with me on growinginfo.com, or shoot me a message on Instagram at Simon@Asman. Let's have a quick chat. Okay, if you are new to this channel and you like what you've seen, scaling your coaching business, helpful tips like this is everything I talk about here. Okay, we're doing advanced stuff here to scale your coaching business. I don't want to target beginners. I want to target coaches who are already aware of how big this entire opportunity is. Okay, now with that being said, guys, feel free to leave this video a like, and I will welcome you back very soon with another massive banger here on this channel. Take care.